Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm gonna go over how I made $400 trading the Nasdaq. I know this is a pretty late trade recap, but I'm gonna start pumping out my trade recaps so I can throw you guys some sauce so you guys can learn. Because at the end of the day, really is just my main goal. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So coming into this market open, we decided to just kind of chop around, and overall, I had some conditions set because we did take out Asia and London highs, so a little bit confusing buys coming in the morning, but overall, I'm gonna give you a rundown of my buys. So we were distributing from this weekly gap, and once you trade from external, you trade to internal. So the internal draw on the day was this overall 4 hour. I wanted to see. I was traded the 4 hour, so that really just gave me the condition and or the conviction on the day. That was my hardcore conviction. That's where I believed price was going to go. So that's where I was, and that's why I was bullish. But we had this 30-minute wrestling in here, so I wanted to see price trade in this 30-minute and us to have a nice V-shaped reaction out of there just to target this buy side liquidity. That's exactly what we did. So, like I said, coming to the market open, we were all just super choppy. And then we traded exactly where I wanted to see. We had this 5-minute internal low resting inside a 30-minute. So this was perfectly played out. Boom, traded into that 5-minute internal low. And then we had the highest time frame inversion was just the 2-minute. So I got in right over there as soon as we inverse that gap. Stops at the swing low, targeting all this LR, this buy side. I wasn't able to get, I left like some runners towards this 4 hour because I really was confident in my draw on the day, but didn't get hit. But overall, super great trade. It was like a it was like a 1 to, that's not right. It was like more like a 1 to 6.5. So that was a trade. Played out super nice. And I have a lot of people asking me, like, Chap, why did you take this trade when we pretty much swept out all the conditions? Well, I mean, the conditions they're talking about would be the Asia high and the London high, and I mean, they're not wrong, but overall, like I said, my bias was bullish. And once you understand these two things, and I'll write this down actually, so you guys can take some notes and learn. So there's two ways that I take a trade, right? The conditions can be ran through, whatever. In my eyes, this 4 hour was a condition for me and my overall conviction. So there's two things you gotta understand: conditions. I cannot type. And conviction. So conviction for me for this day was this 4 hour, and like I said, we already swept out Asia and London highs, making it a less high probability trade. But since I have that overall conviction towards these 4 hour highs, that gives me the reason to take buys. But what do I want to see from the market? I want to see the market continue to show me that we are bullish. A lot of the times people will just apply their bias and then not listen to the market and what it's telling you. Because overall, what could have happened here was we just chop, we continue to chop, and then we enter this 30-minute and we disrespect it. Would I be looking for longs if we're disrespecting a 30-minute? Right? Would I stay true to my bias of this 4 hour if we're disrespecting this 30-minute? No, absolutely not. But instead, what do? We listen to the market. We listen to what it's telling me, and it played out. We had this accumulation, and then we traded in the 30-minute, and then we respected the 30-minute through a 2-minute inversion to trade towards this buy side. Get it? So understanding, your conditions, right? But or conviction, but understanding the conditions that tell you what is price telling me. You guys need to do this. You guys need to ask yourself, what is price telling me? Because if you're not listening to the markets and you're just listening to your emotions, then you're not gonna make it. You gotta listen. What is the market telling you? What is price telling me? And so once you guys understand that, it's a game changer. But trading that 30-minute, that 5 minute internal low, and then 2-minute inversion to play out super nice. And then we did end up trading a little bit lower, blah blah blah, on the day, chopping, and then we ended up absolutely ripping towards those 4 hour highs, which bias was correct. But got my piece of the pie, so I'm cool with that. But like I said, those two things are gonna be game changers, and this overall was a pretty A plus setup. But yeah, that's pretty much the video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you guys do want to join my Discord, it's for free. I just post pretty much my trade recaps in there, my P&Ls, and then I go over like the market overview. I post my daily buys sometimes, and yeah, I just pretty much throw out some sauce. We'll sometimes have free live calls in there, so if you guys want to check that out, it should be in the description or in my profile. Yeah, thanks for watching.